Wait a minute, let me start the recording. Okay, it did not give me an option of where to record. Go for it.
Okay, hey everyone. This is our check-in for today. Because of what we're focusing on in this webinar, we'd like to hear from each of you very crisply two things. To identify one of the best training sessions that you've ever experienced. And then one of the things that made it so exceptional. So we hope you can do that within 30 seconds. And go. I'm going to call on Harry.
I felt safe and could take risks, and that was very important to me. And I felt acknowledged, and I felt like whatever I was contributing was of value.
And what was the training session, Harry?
Oh, I guess I'm just talking in general. I mean, gee whiz.
That's okay.
I'd say anytime that I've been in a dialogue session, those are the considerations, and I feel a part of the team. Either if I'm leading the dialogue or part of it, makes no difference. I feel this sense of shared safety and shared acknowledgement.
Great, thank you. Saleh.
Sorry, I was on mute. For me, it was a training session during OD program where we have to design and present the intervention at different levels of the systems. And so it made it special because it was, it was fun, it was experiential, and it was sharing knowledge.
Wonderful, thank you. Julie.
Unmute, there we go. I had a session that was one from the phone company where I worked, and it was part of a diversity program, and it really challenged participants and myself about our beliefs and where they came from.
Thank you. Werner.
All right. It was an exercise, a pretty long exercise actually, because the debrief was very long. It's tried to simulate power in different hierarchies. What I liked about it is it engaged my mind and my emotions very much. And the debrief was really, really rich in many different dimensions. So how we communicate and quickly seduce to abuse power.
Wow, wonderful. Let's see, Richard.
Hi, hopefully everyone can hear me. For me, years ago I attended a workshop called Leadership Encounters and Transformation, where the facilitators were able to explore encounters amongst people at varying levels, including in the individual, interpersonal, and whole systemic. Their wisdom and ability to help the participants to feel safe to explore, for me, stood out amazingly well.
Thank you. Karen.
Good morning, everyone. I had two workshops. One was Diversity Work Conference, and then another one was Alternative to Violence, those two trainings. They really knowledgeable facilitators, great participants, a structured agenda. Participants did the work. It was interactive, experiential learning activities, and great processing techniques that allowed the participants to learn from each other. And finally, fun and humor was built into the sessions.
That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Becky, you're muted.
My favorite experiential learning activity is a 2-day game that is played for leadership development. It's based on a system dynamics model. And what I love about it is it requires collaboration and really intense discussion among participants to solve really challenging problems where there's many more than one answer. And it's actually what I did my dissertation research on and the kind of thing I'm creating an adaptation of for my future business.
Excellent.
Oh.
Deepak.
Hi, everyone. One of my favorites is the organization workshop by Barry Oshry. And I found it to be, I found it to be very challenging. And what I liked about it was very fun, engaging. It gives you a real-time experience of how things happen in organizations and the organizational dynamics. It helps you think at the systems level. And another beautiful thing about the experiential learning is that the debrief is happening at various intervals. So you don't wait till the end to do a debrief and therefore after every debrief the level of challenge kind of increases in the workshop. I think it is wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Elena.
I go back and forth between NTL and Gestalt because I've been privileged to be exposed to that. But I'll say my American University master's program, and I was class 18, and I think you're now at class 79 or something like that. But it was my first exposure to the way experiential, having subject matter experts, and focusing on diversity. So that is my experience.
Thank you. Anita.
Morning, everyone. So mine was also in my master's program at Pepperdine. We were asked to write a paper about group formation, how we as a group, a cohort of about 30 people, would form into smaller peer consulting groups. And then when we came in for the session in person, we had 24 hours to form those peer consulting groups, which was probably the most intense 24 hours I've ever had in my life, with lots of emotions. And I think the reason why it was such powerful learning was it really knocked me off center. It sort of put me into a zone of discomfort, and where I was able to learn and stretch in new and different ways. So.
Thank you, Anita. Fadi?
Yeah, hi. It was a leadership development with Outer Bound, where we did around 2 weeks whitewater canoeing in Rio Grande River. And what's interesting about it is it was experiential learning. And the metaphors that the person faces, the way we face the river is how a person faces any challenges in real life. So kind of experiential, and the reflection was just amazing.
Thank you, Fadi. Pietro, are you on the call?
I am. And I have to say, many pop in my mind, and in a way I'm looking forward to our July experience as a possible candidate. And if I really had to name one, it's my iGold program, Gestalt Training, with Mary Ann Riney and John Oanafin. On the third day of the first session, we simply had to form groups. We had something 32 people, and we had to form groups, and we kept on moving, and we couldn't lock the group until everyone was explicitly happy about his own group or a home group and all of the other group. And it took us more than 4 hours. And it was very much intense, the dynamic of just pairing up with other people and becoming a group, and then having somebody having to say, I'm not happy with this, and doing this again.
Wow, intense. So who's left?
And I am. This is Timothy.
Timothy, thank you.
Yes, hello everyone. So the conference that stands out for me is an organization called Speaking Empire. They're down in Clearwater, Florida. It's an organization for entrepreneurs who want to enhance all aspects of their business. But what I love about their conferences, they are high energy from minute one. They're highly structured, and they're designed to help you meet as many of the participants as possible. But they've got a great blend of content and structured hands-on applicable processes. And it's just a fun environment, a lot of learning. And I walked away from a 4-day experience just really, really jazzed up, but also feeling like it was worth my time.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And then John, too, if I can go.
Yeah.
This is just energizing. I'm enjoying it. The one that I came prepared with, I see my connection's unstable, sorry. CCL, Center for Creative Leadership. Their flagship program is the Manager of Managers, first time Manager of Managers program. It's a 5-day in residency. And I guess what I enjoyed about it is not only the diversity of the people, but the diversity of the activities. It's many different personality assessments, many different games, many different metaphors. They videotape you and play back the video, and you give feedback on each other's video. It's it's a pretty in-depth program.
Wonderful. Thank you, John. Have I missed anyone? No. Okay, wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you, Rihanna.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Sorry, management question. I'm showing 17 participants.
Yes.
Is that how many that should be showing?
Yes, because Rhonda Lynn is not with us today.
Okay, so that would mean 15, and the three of us would make 3. That would be 18.
18. So who are we missing?
Is your learning partner here? Everyone? Anyone missing a learning partner?
Not me, but it's Rhonda Lynn, my learning partner.
Okay, she's the only one missing?
I'm looking.
All right, well.
We're gonna have to figure out.
I think Costin is missing.
Say again?
Costin, sorry.
You're right, it's Costin Platon.
Yeah, he's my learning partner, but I got on the call late, so I wasn't able to see if he was on or not. So I apologize.
Okay, if Tim, as we're going through this, if it's at all possible for you to email him and remind him, that would be great.
We'll do shortly. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for checking that out.
So Rihanna, I'm going to make you host if you could make me co-host after I do that.
And I'm going to start going over our agenda for today. And also acknowledging that the third month will be quite different from the first 2 months. For some of you who do a lot of stand-up training, in some ways it'll be a piece of cake. For those of you who need to polish up those presentation skills and facilitation of group skills, it will be a challenge, but hopefully a good and fun one. So we've done our check-in, and in terms of an overview of competency area 3, one of the things that those of you who have not been through the NTL, Human Interaction Lab, should be aware of is that the way in which we do our sessions is that every day we have one, what we call community learning session. And that session offers some conceptual input that from our perspective helps to move the group and helps participants in the group get a little better understanding of what's going on for them. So that's why we have it as one of the 4 competency areas, because interestingly enough, we have had a couple of NTL members who have been very excellent T group facilitators and very poor deliverers of experiential learning. And NTL, of course, is concerned about offering a quality program in all of its aspects. So it is definitely one of the 4 competencies that we stress, because not only does every NTLer who's going to be a T group trainer need to be able to facilitate the group, but needs to do a really good job of designing and delivering experiential learning modules. So I wanted to offer that as a overview. We will have online assignments, and I'm going to go over them in a minute. And we have assignments to design teams this month. This month, we'd love to have you check in with your learning partners. Don't abandon them. But on the other hand, you're going to be working with 2 or 3 other members of the cohort on a design team. And you will actually be charged as a design team with designing one of the 4 experiential learning modules that we use during the community learning sessions in an actual HI lab. In July, you will have the opportunity for your design team to offer that very same module to our group. And you will get feedback both from your design team members. You'll get feedback from the cohort on your design, your draft designs. And then in July, you will get feedback on your actual delivery of and facilitation of the session. So today, we will assign you to the design teams. We will explain what the 4 topics are. And then we will have you in your design teams for a little bit of team building and selection of the topic that you want to negotiate with the rest of the group to be the one for you. And then you'll have some time to plan how you're going to work together, and then finally a checkout. So that's our agenda for today. Are there any questions or additions to the agenda before I go on? All righty then. So here are the online assignments. And this month you will find them again listed where the weeks are listed, and the study questions, when there are study questions, are right there in the same weeks, the way it was in the first module. So we have short articles on adult learning principles, on the experiential learning cycle, on use of instruments in HI labs. We also offer you a rationale for the selection and sequencing of the topics that we do in our community learning sessions. There's a fairly heavy emphasis on designing experiential learning sessions. And then there's a worksheet that you can use in your design team. So those are for weeks 1 and 2. And then in weeks 3 and 4, you're focused more on the presentation and facilitation part of the deal. And so we have guidelines for presenting effectively. We have managing group dynamics. And built into both 321 and 322 are some self-activities. Then we have, and I'm going to go over these, peer design team feedback form and the design team feedback form for the group to use. So I'm going to just check over these design team assignments. We do not have Costin and we don't have Rondolin. But for now, we would have design team 1 would be Sole, Fadi, Pietro, and Anita. Design team 2, Karen, Deepak, John, and Julie. Design team 3, Becky, Richard, Werner, and Costin when we get him. And design, yeah, Sole.
Sorry, we don't see the slides which you're talking to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. Thank you, Soleil. Do you see it now?
Now we can see them. We were all still on, I was still on the first slide that was our intro slide.
Okay, let me go back then and just quickly show you. You'll see these, but these were the things that I was reading. Let me put new share. So these were the first week 1 and week 2. These were the readings that you'll find online, the links to them, okay? I'm looking at Julie's face. I can't see everybody else, but Julie, you look like you're frowning. Do you have a question or? Online assignments for the weeks 3 and 4. Those were the 2 slides that I was showing that you couldn't see. You can see these now, right?
Yep, sure can.
Okay, and then I was talking about the design team assignments, and now you can see them, I hope. Yes?
Okay,
Yes.
let's pause a moment. Julie, I can't see your face, but you said you cannot. Okay, you got her back. Great.
Okay. All right. So Sally, Fadi, Pietro, Anita, Karen, Deepak, John, Julie, Becky, Richard, Werner, and Kostin when we have him, Rondalyn when we have her, Timothy, Harry, and Elena. Those are the teams. And I have lost my, hold on just one second. I'm operating at a disadvantage today because I don't have some of what I need available because of problems. I want to show you what you will as design team members. This is what your peer feedback form will look like. It focuses on the whole experience of you as a member in the design team. So it asks about, are you aware of and did you apply adult learning principles? Did you determine desired outcomes? Did you help develop realistic and appropriate objectives? Did you access available resources? Did you decide on the most appropriate content and activities in terms of the sequence too? Were you appropriate in your estimates of how much time things were going to take? Did you think about AV equipment and what you would need? Did you help your design team think about whether there would be any questions or points of resistance that would come up? And did you work effectively as a member of the team? So you will be giving, the 3 or 4 of you will be giving each other feedback using this form. And then you will also have another form that you will use as soon as I can find the share screen again. It keeps moving on me. This will be in the second webinar. Every one of you, and these forms are available in website, webinar, module 3 in that space. This is the critique sheet that we will ask all of you, so it would be like 12 of you will be giving feedback to the other 4 on each of the 4 design team presentations that you do at the next webinar. So it will be appropriateness of the learning objectives, the session activities to achieve those objectives, the sequencing and variety of activities, use of adult learning principles, planned use of different AV resourcements, and how much fun was it? I think it was Karen who said it was fun, built in. So each of the 12 of you who are not part of the design team will fill out one of these forms and post it in a breakout space for the design teams to look at. Is that clear? I'm seeing a couple of heads nod, but I want to pause because it's a little bit confusing.
So can I ask a question?
Please.
So this is Karen, and so I just want to be clear I understood you. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. So we are going to, during the next webinar, we will actually do our presentation, and this is when the critiques will happen, or will the critiques happen when we present face-to-face?
Both, because at the next webinar, you will not actually do your whole design. You will explain what you're planning to do.
Okay.
So you will do a presentation about what you are going to do.
And that's what we're going to get critiqued on, a presentation about what we are going to do.
Right, and that will not be about your delivery at all. That's more about, gee, you followed the adult learning principle guidelines, and yes, you had a nice variety of activities, but I thought maybe you could blah, blah, blah. So that'll be the kind of critique that you do at the second webinar.
So more on the process that we'll be using. That's what I presume.
The content and the process.
Content and process. Okay, thank you.
Then in July, there is yet one more feedback form. Are we big with our feedback forms here or what? And this feedback form actually does help you get lots of feedback around your delivery. Can you all see this now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the one where you're actually going to get feedback about the delivery itself. And that's in July.
And who's filling that out?
Everybody who's not part of your design team.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So in other words, every one of you will end up getting 12 inputs from the other members of the cohort. Okay? All right. Woo. So having gone through that, let's get back to, I think you are going to be up, Kathleen, as soon as I can get there. There we go. And now I need to share this screen. And there is a question from Anita about next webinar. Is that correct, Anita? Let me see, that is on
5/27.
May 27th.
Okay.
All right.
Sue?
Yep.
I don't want to show that slide yet. Could you go back up one?
I surely could. Okay.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
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 So,
Hello, Lulu.
we want to talk, I can't even see myself. We want to talk a little bit about your assignments and how you were assigned. As in all instances of assignment in this training, you don't have input into who you end up working with. And that's exactly how it is in an HI. And one of the things you may realize is that pretty much everything that we do mimics your experience in an HI. And so in this instance, you're assigned to a team. I don't want to show that slide yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I had the right one.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You are correct. That is the one I want to show. Yeah, Harry, I'm getting snippy again. Okay. Let me just say to everyone, really, I am such a night owl. If I can get to bed before 3 o'clock, it is a miracle. And so this is the issue that I run into, and that I run into at labs as well. Anyhow, so you don't get input into who you work with. And we feel so strongly about that because we match up people based upon a diversity of diversities. So we look at diversity at multiple levels. And often we want you working with people that you don't know so that you don't form entrenched ways of working with each other. And again, we want to maximize diversity. And NTL feels so strongly about it that, for example, if I were assigned on a team to work with Sue and I said, I don't want to work with Sue, what NTL would say to me is, great, well, thanks for letting us know, you're off the team. So we feel that strongly about it. So in this instance, should it happen that you're working with someone you don't want to work with, you're welcome. You have a great learning opportunity in front of you. So you can see on the slide that Sue has been showing that I really do want to look at, that what we've made every attempt to do is to maximize diversity as much as we know it. You can see that in Design Team 3, if we're looking at maximizing diversity across gender, we did not do such a good job. But one of the reason for that is that we have more men in this training than we have women, which is a rarity. So kudos to all the men who showed up for this. And that is what happened there. And for each of you, I'm sure it'll be a great learning opportunity. So
Lulu, may I add one thought, which is that we also did not want to put learning partners together because we wanted you to have other experiences.
Right. So we want people that you don't really know well and you've never worked with each other, so that when a lab starts, the day before the lab start, the team gets together for the first time face-to-face. They've worked together on the phone before that, but for the first time, first, the team gets together and team building starts. And you will have a mini version of that today in about 15 minutes as opposed to an 8 to 10 hour day. So again, I said diversity at multiple levels, basically the ones that we can see or know about, and you will discover even more as you begin to work together. So the design teams again are Sale, Fabi, Pietro, Anita, Karen, Deepak, John, Julie, Becky, Richard, Werner, Kostin, Rondalyn, Timothy, Harry, Elena. Now, we have 2 people who are missing. It often happens that when we are traveling to deliver training for an HI, sometimes flights get delayed and people are late showing up. So for those 2 teams where you're missing partners, you have this opportunity to figure out your team building with each other. How are we going to bring the other 2 up to speed? Because it does happen that people just don't get to where they need to be on time. So in your design teams, next slide, please. You're going to have some get acquainted questions that we want you to toy with. Will they be able to see these slides in the breakout rooms?
No.
Okay.
That would be helpful.
Unless Karen can tell us how to do that.
I'm taking a
You can
screenshot.
copy it. You can copy it and put it in the chat, and then people have access to the chat. Can you do that?
Oh, even in the
When we go in group, the chat changes. We have group chat that are not the same.
Oh,
sorry. Okay, well,
did you hear, John? If any of you can take a screenshot, do it. So you'll have it in your design team meeting.
So John in design team 2 can do that. Can someone do that in design team 1, 3, and 4? You can take just a picture with your phone or something. I don't know who to choose. Anita, can you do that?
Can try.
Okay, just take a picture with your phone maybe.
Can you go back to the slide?
I will as soon as we find out who will do this for design team 3 and 4.
Werner, do you have a phone nearby? Thank you.
I've just done it for 4. I have
Okay,
one on my phone.
fabulous. Thank you so much. And we'll bear that in mind going forward when we put you in breakout groups. So as you talk with each other, you're going to talk about your level of experience with stand-up training in general, your level of experience with designing, facilitating experience-based learning in particular, strengths and development priorities from the second section of the competency matrix, and you want to identify someone to serve as team leader. And when we think of this team leader, it's similar to the dean of a lab. So you're going to select someone to do that, and then that person will then also report back to the plenary. And we'll be looking with interest what other roles you ask that person to take on. So let's see. I believe that is it in terms of what we want you to do. We will let you know when you have 3 minutes left in your group. We're going to give you your full 15 minutes. So you'll have 12, and then we'll give you a 3-minute warning. Any questions?
yeah, I have a question. How long are our presentations to be in our workshop?
We'll come back to that.
Meeting, okay.
Okay, because I want to give you your full time in this. So hold that question. Thank you. Any questions about what you're going to be doing in the breakouts? Unmute yourself and ask if so. Okay, Rihanna, would you put them in their rooms, please? I believe you're still the host.
Are we great?
Oh, it closes. Oh, they got an extra minute.
Yeah, that always happens with
Forgot
the,
about that.
yeah, that's something we just have to remember.
Okay, so we're recording now, though.
Okay. Here's Karen. Hey, Karen, we need a tutorial sometime from you about how to do some of the more sophisticated pieces of this.
Okay, if I can help, I will. Also, you could have put something in the chat and been able to see it.
Good thinking.
So
Okay.
in case, just the next time.
Thank you.
Well, we're actually going to need to do it in a few minutes. So.
Put something in the chat?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What if you made Karen the host for a minute so she can post something in chat?
Do you want, can you, well, first she has to know what she wants to do. What slide is that, Sue?
It's this one.
Okay, yeah.
No, it's the one with the topics listed.
Okay, this is the one you're thinking of.
Yep.
So are you willing to do that, Karen?
Yeah. Actually, I'll take a picture and just type it in.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on one second.
God love you.
Did we, Karen, did we finish our breakout while you're taking that picture?
We did. Thank you.
Wow, that was quick.
Hold on.
And they voted me the team lead because of the most years.
Okay.
I got it.
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Okay, now is everybody back now?
Group 3 is.
No.
We should be because we were automatically moved back.
Wow, why is, okay. Well, I'm looking at the breakouts and some people have now disappeared from their assignments, but we'll manage that later. Okay, so you're up.
Okay. First, I want to make sure I answer any questions that would help you think about how you're going to design topics. So Karen had asked before the break about how long will you have. In July, during the face-to-face training, each design team will have 1 hour to present on their topic. And then that will be followed by a half an hour of critique, where the design team will critique itself first, and then the participants will offer what they have to say, and then the staff will add any final comments. So that's how it will go during the training face-to-face. What we haven't said is that usually there are 5 community learning session topics in some cases, but the staff is going to do all of the community learning sessions on diversity and inclusion. So here are the 4 topics that you as design teams will be responsible for. On day 3, in the real human interaction lab, this happens on day 1, but some of you will do Johari window, which is combined with giving and receiving feedback. Karen has taken a picture of this and will post it in chat, so you'll be able to see this when you go back in design teams. Day 4, one design team will do something on interpersonal communications, which really is about taking responsibility for our own learning, for our filters, for our beliefs, for our assumptions. Some people do the ladder of inference, some people, well, there are various designs, but that's the flavor of it. On day 5, we do conflict management, and we use the Thomas Kilmann inventory so that you get one experience using an instrument during the 4 sessions. By the way, in the real live HI lab, we never have more than 1 instrument. And then the final of the 4 community learning sessions will be group process and group dynamics. So those are the 4 topics. Now, before we have you quickly get back into your design teams and decide what's your order of preference for those 4, are there any other questions that you have about how this works that will help you think through which topic you want?
Can you repeat again the time frames that we have?
Yes, we had 1 hour for the design team to do not just its presentation, its facilitation of the whole learning topic. Then we had a half an hour for critique.
Sue, I'm not understanding. You haven't chosen the topics for our teams. We have
You get to choose them, and that's going to be your next assignment. You go back into your design teams, and as a group, you rank these 4. I'm not saying everybody's going to get their first choice, but quickly, as a design team, we need you to think about, and I'm going to move to this slide now, the topics I would most like to learn more about, and what is our preference in terms of an order as a team for the 4 topics. And we're only going to give you 5 minutes to do this, and then come back prepared to negotiate. Okay?
Oh, my word.
Oh, yes. Isn't this fun? All right. Go for it, unless you have any questions.
Well, I'm just recreating a room, so.
Ah, okay.
So talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, I think this should work.
Okay.
Please show us the slide one more time of the 4 topics.
Yes, and you will also have it in the chat so you can look at it while you're talking.
Okay.
All right.
All righty, go for it. 5 minutes.
I think everyone's back now.
Okay. All right. So, first, could we hear from the team leader for Design Team 3?
Yes. Our first choice is the interpersonal communication filter belief assumptions.
Okay. Hold on to that. And could we hear from Design Team 2? Leader.
So you're only going with our first choice?
Yeah, for right now.
Our first choice was the group process and group dynamics.
My goodness. All right. So far. And that's Design Team 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I can't believe we're going to get this all. And then could we go to Design Team 4?
Our first choice is for the group process and group dynamics. We have to mix up a little bit.
Okay. I knew it was too good. And how about Design Team 1?
Our first choice is also group process, group dynamics.
Well, let's say this. Werner, Design Team 3 is the owner of interpersonal communications.
Woohoo!
Now, let us take a moment to see, Julie, what was Design Team 2's second choice?
Interpersonal communication.
What was Design Team 2's third choice?
Johari window.
Okay. And Timothy, Tim, what was Design Team 4's second choice?
Interpersonal communication.
Done deal. Go to number 3.
Johari window.
Where does this negotiation part come in? When we were in our small groups, or right now? Because we can negotiate
right now. It's going to be right now. As soon as we hear from Design Team 1, the group leader there is.
It's me. Sauli, yes. Our second choice is interpersonal communications. And third choice is conflicts. Conflict management.
Conflict management. All right, so let me do this then. Tim, Julie, and Saleh, have a little discussion, please.
Well, our thought process was for group process and group dynamics. Some people felt pretty comfortable around that. Others of us said that was one of the areas, and the questioning was based on, you know, what did you want to learn? And we had more opportunity to learn from, you know, designing a session around this group process, group dynamics for our own benefit as well.
Sally?
We had pretty much similar discussion in the first place. We had a lot of participants in our group. They have felt comfortable in designing and facilitating experience-based learning. But also for some of us, it was also a learning area to develop and practice T-group facilitation.
Okay. Tim?
Yeah, so we readily concede conflict management to Sally's team, which was our collective fourth choice. But we had passion around group dynamics for all the reasons Julie just stated. But Johari came in sort of second, and the giving and receiving part, Elena in particular mentioned that would also be of interest to us on some level to do that. So again, most passion around the group process, and then secondly, Johari window.
Saleh, are you willing to graciously receive conflict management?
Yes, I think we would be happy because that was one of the areas we had also.
So we have design team 3 with interpersonal communications, and we have design team 1 with conflict management. Go for it, Julie and Tim.
Oh, round 2 of negotiations.
Yes.
Well, Tim, I could send you large boxes of chocolate and or beer. I don't buy alcohol for anybody, but in this case, I might, you know, put aside that thought process. You know, I heard you say that you had passion around that giving and receiving feedback as well. So I think that passion would be best used. Giving and receiving feedback, because we really had a strong passion for wanting to take this one on as something that we weren't as versed in. All of our team members felt pretty comfortable about facilitating and designing, and this was just one that we really thought we could all stretch from.
Let me clarify that Johari window and giving and receiving feedback go together, Julie.
Right. But he just mentioned that giving and receiving feedback was part of the Johari window, and they had passion around that. So I was just trying to reinforce his passion.
Yeah. So thank you, Juliana. I received that on behalf of the team. But candidly, we were not as passionate about Johari's window collectively because we were pretty much all experienced in that area, and so it was sort of already a territory we've been down.
Right.
It was the second part that I wanted to just amplify, the giving and receiving feedback. But like you, we collectively felt we can get more out of the process by undertaking the group process, the group dynamics.
Yeah. So Sue, can I just clarify, is the interpersonal communication one already assigned then?
Yes, that's to Werner.
Okay, because that was our number 2.
3. So it's between Johari window / giving and receiving feedback and group process. And by the way, even if you're very experienced with Johari window and giving and receiving feedback, one of the things you might set for yourself is a challenge to do something very different, because there are a lot of designs that are very engaging around that topic.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing. I should say we don't have Rondell here, and we're sort of operating without a team member's input. So again, another reason for us kind of picking the topic we did on some level. It's sort of a little broad, and but again, I guess I want to just acknowledge that my teammates wanted me to emphasize that the 3 of us are deciding for a 4th person who's not present.
Well, I mean, I know we could do either one. So group dynamics was just our number one, but we were saying that we could do any of them.
Is that an affirmative statement, Julie? Don't give up unless you really mean it.
We really wanted group process and group dynamics, but as we discussed it, you know, it's like we put them in a rank order, but the issue was we could do all of these. Is just the one that we wanted to stretch, and where we thought we could benefit from the most was the group process, group dynamics piece.
All right. Thank you. So then I'm going to, even though I thought that was a rather weak argument on Tim's part about being a victim, you know, we don't have our whole team here for us. But in any case, what I'm hearing then is design team 1, Solly team leader, conflict management. Design team 2, Julie, the team leader, Johari window / giving and receiving feedback. Design team 3, Werner, interpersonal communications, all types of possibilities to go with that one. And design team 4, Tim, group process, group dynamics. So give yourselves a round of applause. Well done, well done. No physical abuse, that's very good. Now, what we want to have you do is to go back into your design team rooms once again and do a little preparing for how you will work together in terms of coming up with your draft design. And before you go back into there, I just want to remind you, this is what you would do to prepare for webinar 6, which is May 27th. Each of you, the design team leader, would post your draft design in the breakout space that's already provided for you in the conference space for competency area 3. And then everyone is to print out 3 copies of the critique sheet, 342, on design team presentations, on which you will make notes during the other team's presentations, and then you will put the highlights of your notes in, you will post those on the website. So I will take a moment now to see what questions people have.
So Sue, I have a question. So if we are going to design this and keep posting about our design, my experience has been that when you're implementing your design to a training team or to participants, I have never done disclosure about what my intent is, and you know, how am I going to debrief the whole thing. If I put that out in the open, then you know, participants I don't see might enjoy the event as much, and that's one of my apprehensions about this, because you're doing it in open fashion, and that's the same thing that we're going to implement to the participants. Wonder if they'll enjoy the experience.
And I do think, Deepak, you have a good point. However, since we're in learning mode mainly, we want you to have the opportunity to hear what others think about your overall design. And let me also say this is going to happen on May 27th. My experience of you all is that you are very busy people, and that by July 7th that week, you may have totally forgotten whatever you heard back in May. And then finally, the one thing I want to say, Deepak, is that in July, in addition to just experiencing it as a participant, you're experiencing these designs as a professional too. So that you will be giving feedback based on how people are presenting, how they're using AV, etc. So that I do think your point's well taken, but I'll leave it there. Okay? All right. So for the last time, let's get back into our groups for 10 minutes, and then we will have our checkout at 25 past 12.
So how long do we have to present on at the next webinar?
Oh, thank you, Karen. You have 8 minutes to do your presentation, and then 12 minutes of input from the group.
You'll need to repeat that when people come back, Sue, because they're joining their rooms now.
I will do that. And also, Karen, that will be, I'll send out an email on that.
Thank you.
And we're paused.
Not yet.
Okay.
I think everyone's back.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
Okay. I want to make one other announcement, which is that in addition to all of your many resources that you bring to the design, you will find listed in the conference space for the third competency area something called the HI Lab Manual. It's quite outdated now. It was done in 2006, but it was a collection of all the designs that had been used, that people had in mind. And so you're welcome to look through that.
Excellent.
Okay.
And where that is, please?
That is on the website under, it's in there. I can send out an email and tell you exactly, but it's there in the conference site for Competency Area 3. I can't get to it right now.
Okay.
Okay, Rihanna.
Can you put the slide up, Sue?
I can.
So everyone, what we'd like to hear, again, fairly crisply, is one thing I'm feeling excited about as we leave the webinar today. So let's go backward. Let's start with John. I mean, from earlier.
Sure. I'm excited that for me, this webinar had, it maybe wasn't as deep conversation as the diversity one, but the structure of it really worked for me today. I thought it ran well. So I'm excited about increasing structure of our webinars.
Great. And Timothy.
I'm excited about gathering our collective team and working together when we're full strength.
Oh.
I think Pietro.
Yes, I'm excited about the challenge, of course, of being part of a new team, working with new colleagues and the differences that are immediately emerging and that will need some work, interesting work.
Great. Fadi, I think.
Yes, I'm excited about the task ahead and working with my team, and even more than that, in July, I just anxious to see what's going to happen.
And Anita.
I too am getting excited about July. It feels like it's just around the corner, and excited to meet people in person.
Wonderful. Elena?
I'm excited about group process and group dynamics and working with the folks that are part of our team.
Great. And now I've lost it. Who was before Elena? You remember? Probably not.
Oh.
I didn't say it, so I don't know whether I was before.
Go ahead, Sally.
Yeah, so I'm feeling excited about the team we have and learning from each other, because we have a good experienced team, so I'm excited about that.
Great, thank you. Karen.
I'm excited about working with my team to design our upcoming session and being able to work together.
Thank you. Harry?
I'm excited about learning from Elena and Metaphor, and I'm excited about learning from Timothy and learning some of his great negotiating skills.
Thank you. Let's see, Becky.
I'm excited about developing the experiential activities. And by the way, Timothy, we were also missing one team member.
Whoa. Werner.
Yeah, Yeah, extremely excited to work with Richard Backind and Costin on this design, and then also learning from each other about our filters and biases, the ones we
Great.
know and don't know.
Thank you. Karen?
You want me to go again?
Oh, I'm sorry. Deepak.
So apart from the baby that we're expecting in the next week, I'm excited about working with the new team and designing this this exercise remotely. It's going to be fun.
Good. Richard?
For me, it would be working with new members of the community, and the fact that they have very different, in some cases, very different strengths that they will bring to the team, which will only serve to strengthen me as an individual as well.
Excellent.
Wonderful. And Julie?
I am excited that my team is excited about our topic and that, like everyone else has said, I mean, everybody's bringing in something a little bit different in the group that I'm a part of, and I'm really excited to see how we put all that together to create a pretty dynamic presentation and design.
Thank you. Have I missed anyone? Okay. Thank you all so much. Sue, is there anything else you want to wind up with?
Well, I was just thinking, hearing people talk, how I'm getting excited about July too. It really is going to be so marvelous to meet everybody in person after this experience. So have a great month until May 27th. If you have questions, just call your coaches or email them. We're here to help.
Quick question. Is there a place where everyone's contact information is?
I think it's there in the emails. Or not?
From Sue, right?
In all of the emails that I've sent out, everybody's contact information is there, but I will be sure to send another email out right today so that everybody will have everybody's email. Okay?
Good.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao. Ciao.
Bye.
Let me go.